Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why it does that, but anyways, well, there we go. Okay, so let's repeat everything I just said. The reason we're on this screen right here is because I literally apparently have skill issue and I forgot to plug in the actual HDMI to my phone so that we can actually talk about the Carmilla lab. And we have some announcements to make and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. We also have Twitch back up and all that stuff, which is another reason why I was taking longer to start the stream. But apparently, YouTube's giving me this warning that, like, you know, my stream bitrate might be effed up. So if it looks blurry or stuff, just let me know. Let me know. Just let me know, because it seems like we're in scuffed territory right now, and I don't like scuffed territory. But I need to go find this cable now, because apparently we're not getting any type of like interaction here between my my phone cable and the PC. So triggered, yes. But so yeah, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta I gotta go check where the hell this cable went. By the way, it's nice and toasty down here where my computer is. For those of you curious. Nice and toasty. Okay. Well, I never thought I'd need this cable, but I guess I'll plug it in tonight. In before I crash everything else on the stream. Oh, the audio stopped for some reason. La 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 la. There we go. So I apologize for all the technical difficulties tonight, because we are coping hard, but it's a necessary evil, because if we don't do this, we don't have Carmilla. Cables all over the floor. Love to see it. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Now we're back. Now we're back. Okay. So, sorry for all the Twitch viewers that see this VOD. Although I believe Twitch is more of an actual live audience. But sorry for all the VOD viewers. We have technical difficulties. But yeah. Let's see if my other stuff is working. Nope, it's not working. Oh, it's because I have it shut down. Well, maybe if you didn't close the stream 0, you would see stuff, right? At least, okay, that no video thing is actually important. At least it shows that there is no video. Trust. That should make it pop up now. I should be able to see something. The fact that I'm not is sus. Very sus. Moshi Moshi! PC-kun! What you doing, bro? What you doing? Slightly frustrating, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Connected to external display. Everything is being detected fine and dandy. It's just not actually pulling up here. Which means that skill issue. That's what it means. I'm gonna try one different port, guys. Give me one more second. I guess I could talk. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? When I'm like down here, like in the dead zone down here. Can you guys hear me down here? Hold up. I'll peek at chat. Can you guys hear me? Kai's headphones gonna outlast your PC and probably our lives. Kai's headphones are built different though. Actually built different. Yeah, it's not even my PC. It's just like this. I moved my PC to a spot where I can use it easier, and it's like it doesn't like being over here. I can tell it's acting up. I don't have that many like ports over here that can reach this thing. PC-kun. Please tell me that worked. Okay, it says it worked. We'll see. I see no video. I still see no video. Connected to external display. Reality, nada. Aha! We done it. We done did it. We did it, guys. Sheesh. Was it that hard? Wait, where's Carmilla now? There she is. Jeez. Not. Okay. There we go. Let's go. so I'm far away from the camera, Kai. That's why. I was just yeah. This is what happens when I was this is the results of thinking everything is gonna be fine before a stream because you haven't changed absolutely anything from last stream, but then all of a sudden things change randomly. You didn't even do anything different, but then it's just changing. What's up? we got one person on Twitch, but your username is something I can't say on stream, so yeah, we are on YT as well. Yes, we are. So basically we have spent the first how long have we been up here, guys? The first like 20 minutes or so scuffing. So once again, sorry for all the scuff, but we here. Welcome. What's up, Deku? What's up, Kai? What's up, Trim? Even Trim is here. Jeez, everybody's here when I scuff, bro. Everybody's here when I scuff. Sometimes on my stream, audio input resets pain. Bro, I had to reset my audio thingy like twice. All I did was unplug a cable, and it's like, nope, I'm gonna shut down. Screw you. So. Alright, let's go ahead and explain what we're gonna be talking about tonight so that we have a good sense of direction, because right now it's just kind of wild, not gonna lie. It's just wild, that's what it is. So yeah. I'm trying to open up something else as well, guys. I'm trying to open up the Zask thingy majiggy. Well, not Zask, but it comes from Zask. Let's see if I can find it. One second here. god, it's pulling up like the most ancient files, but it's not pulling up the one I want. You love to see it. Okay. Well, that's pain. Okay then. Well then. Now don't worry, just got in, didn't see the scuff. So for Carmilla purposes, so because we've been delaying this for long enough already, I guess, unintentionally, but the way we do the off memory now, because I usually look at my Word file so I don't lose my placing here. The way we usually handle that hero labs is we go look and analyze the hero skills, then we talk about their weaknesses and strengths, which then leads to talking about their place in the meta. Then that leads to talking about their build and their emblems and their battle spells. And yeah, then basically that's how we kind of go over and analyze how their kit works and all that other fun stuff. So that's how, in general, we've been doing these labs. Other than that, I do have a couple of announcements to make. Like I said, Imujo, which is the developer for that auto drafter, has sent a little update video. I'm gonna go ahead and download it while I'm talking about it. But basically, we got some progress. It's still nowhere near being finished, of course, but at least it's to a point where we are keeping progress with it. I'm not rushing him because the developer. Oops, sorry about that. The developer himself is currently in college and stuff, and I don't like to rush people that I kind of like hire for stuff, because usually when you tend not to rush people, they kind of tend to do a better job, slash a more quality job, because they don't feel, just like there's no scuff, right? I think you're actually seeing it right now. You might be seeing it on stream right now. So it's just kind of scuffed right now because it's just grabbing it from the wrong screen because it likes to. But yeah, there's the progress. I'm gonna make myself small a little bit so you guys can see it. But basically, the hero pull function is sort of kind of working, wherein you choose all your people, your teammates' hero pulls, and the system, like I said before, is going to be able to take heroes from your hero pool and kind of work based off of that, give you suggestions saying, okay, this is what's meta and this is what's in your hero pool, and obviously if they both synergize and you got both something that's meta, something that's gonna be good to counter the enemy, but it's also within your hero pool, stuff like that is going to obviously come out on top. So yeah, that's basically what it's all about. Use AI 0. Yeah, Rito told me the same thing, but no thank you. I could, but I'm not good enough to fix anything in the AI. Plus, I feel like you got a real person behind it. You have actual networking and backend support, not just the app itself. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing over here. That's the little mini update there for that. The other updates I got for other projects are more along the lines of what's going to be changing for the channel from I guess starting next week. So your boy is going to start to streams. So the good news is good news and bad news. Your boy is going to start the streams a little bit earlier, when possible. Okay, but the catch to that is that I'm not going to be streaming as often, because I have to basically switch over from streamer mode to content creator, like video creator mode. So there's the problem. That's basically the biggest issue right there. But I'm gonna tone down streams to maybe once or twice a week, and we're gonna try and stream a little bit earlier, like around maybe 10 o'clock p.m. EST. Maybe, like I said, the days that I can, I will. Otherwise, it's still going to be at 12. But even then, it's still going to be less days streaming, more time spent making video content, So it's not like I'm being here less. It's just less streaming so that I can get other stuff, done. But yeah, to answer your question, Shariar, for this season, I don't think I'm gonna put another tier list up. I think I'm gonna have to wait until the next. Basically, the way that I update tier lists is if there's anything like huge, like meta changing, like when the SS tier takes a big change, or the S tier takes a huge change, that's when we update those tier lists. That's why we updated the last one because the Flicker patch, then the demise of Faramis and his place in the meta, the rise of Carmilla and Kaja. Those are big updates. That's kind of generally when you're gonna see those tier lists being updated. But yeah, there's a problematic streamer mode. You really choose the worst time to stream. It's like 7 a.m. here. It's always gonna be good or bad time depending on your time zone. It's really it depends. It's gonna be good for somebody all the time. It's gonna be bad for somebody all the time. What's up, Saya? But yeah, those are basically the major updates. Other than that, we are working on. I think I'm gonna work on the whole Flickr update thing that I showed you guys on stream a little bit the other day. Basically, every other YouTuber out there who already knows how to edit has already put out their video for it, and they've done a good job of it. But so instead of just kind of rushing myself to make the video, I'm gonna make sure I kind of just release it on the next update if I can, which would probably be this Thursday when it lands, but I'm not sure. Speaking of which, that's probably going to be the stream dates from now on. Probably when trying to get the problem is that ML likes to update their servers at Thursdays, like at 3 or 4 a.m. for me, and that's like insane. So, that's basically another issue there. But anyways, so let's go ahead and talk about Carmilla. If you guys have any questions or stuff like that, just let me know. But yeah. I'm gonna buy Carmilla. I think she's easier to use than Grok. I agree. She's very easy to use. If you want to be a content creator, you gotta be a Lancelot Max Pro. Is this like an iPhone brand or something? Like a knockoff? At Lancelot Pro Max? Okay, so Carmilla nerf when? That's my question. She's already been nerfed. They already nerfed her. This is her nerf form. So yeah, alright, so let's actually go ahead and start talking about her so we don't delay the stream too much, okay? I was gonna say Vampilla, Varmilla, yes. Carmilla. Carmilla is one of my favorite supports, if not my favorite support in the game. I've said it multiple times before because she is one of the few heroes in the game that has very highly misunderstood maths. People just kind of assume they know how her passive works, but they could not be further from the truth. So we're gonna make sure that you guys come out here knowing exactly when it's good to pick her, because in solo queue it's not always the best option to take her, obviously, because she's a support hero, and support heroes rely on your team, and of course it's teamwork, and come on, solo queue. All right, so. But yeah, Carmilla's S1, it's kind of like just, I guess you could think of it like a heal. Like, you know how Hylos S1, it kind of does that, like that ring of punishment, and it kind of just does damage kind of around it. Think of it like that in a sense in terms of like how effective it is, minus the cancer slowdown, but it actually heals her up. So in team fights, this is basically your source of sustain, and since she's built to be tanky, you're not going to really get much boosted heals from this. It is what it is. You do heal off of this. This is your main healing mechanism. Other than that, you're going to steal. You see that little wing thing that appeared? You're going to be stealing the enemy's defense, basically. And if I keep spamming this skill, which I will for you guys, as long as it's on the same enemy, you're not going to be stealing more. So that's a common misconception that people kind of have for her. Because her passive reads that each time Carmilla deals damage to an enemy hero, she steals blah 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 blah. Can stack up to 5 times and it lasts 5 seconds. The Carmilla can only steal defense from the same enemy hero once every 5 seconds. So basically, her passive is kind of dog water, because it's not like okay, you can keep the damage up, and then after 5 seconds, you know, you can get more stolen from that same enemy. That's not how it works. You have to have 5 different enemies, and even then, when you charge all up into them, that's what they mean by that. See? Before this update, it was bugged, meaning that when you charged into 5 enemies, like this, even like this, it would take literally 25 seconds to fill up her vampire stacks. But now, she does have 55 more hybrid defense. That's how it works. If you look at the magic defense, I have 160 and 151 as my extra. And when I go through here, I have now 215 and 206 as my extra. That's how that passive works. You need to hit multiple different enemies with your S1, and that's how it steals, quote unquote, their defenses. It's not broken. It's not going to steal 50 from each person. It's just 11 max. Hylos S2. Oh, I have it on S1. I switched my skills. My bad, bro. Amulet Destroyer. What's up, man? By the way, those of you on Twitch, most of us are on YouTube, so if you wonder where all the comments are from, yeah, that's where they're from. We're just kind of doing the Carmilla lab tonight. Wings are too short. I need to kiss the enemies to regen. Well, that's the thing about Carmilla. She's not like your typical supports that stay in the back line, like Estes or Raph, or even Mathilda. I mean, Mathilda, I guess, kind of can go in people's face, but not really. But Carmilla is kind of meant to be a sub-melee type support. And, oh, speaking of Carmilla, now we're talking about her, Deku did leave us a couple of tips, and we're gonna go ahead and, let me go ahead and pull those up so that we know what we're talking about here. Okay. So from Deku, on the 11th, he was talking to Sub in Discord, and he says, ideally, you want to use your ultimate startup on your... Hold up. You want to use your ultimate startup... Oh, my goodness. Hold up. What's going on? What's going on? What's scuffed up? What's going on? I'm on starting screen? There's no way. What? Hold up. Okay, that means that... Can you guys still hear me? I think it crashed. Or what's going on? Can you guys hear me or not? Hello? You can still hear me, but my stream is being scuffed. Hold up. This is crazy. Hold up. Let me pull it up on my side. Let me pull it up on my side. Kai, I got it. Hold up, bro. Let's see what we got. We might just have to restart, guys. We might just have to restart. Let's see here. I can see my stream. Is it just me? Hold up. It's fine now? Okay, yeah, my bad, guys. I wasn't aware it was scuffing so hard. I might just have to, like, stop the Twitch version. I think it might not... My internet might not be good enough. It's not my PC, for sure. I can guarantee you that. My PC's fine. It's just... I think it might just be my internet not being able to support the both of them. But we'll see. So, sorry for the sidetrack there. Yeah, but just let me know if it scuffs up, guys. That's weird. I don't think it should have done that. But, trust? So yeah, Deku's tips for Carmilla. Let me get out of this menu so you guys can stop looking at text. So Deku's tips for Carmilla are that you want to use your ultimate, start up your S2 without using the second part yet, activate S1 by this time, your ult should pop which will immobilize targets. Then you can release S2, which will stun them, and follow up with the Petrify to stun them all again to CC chain. So I have Vengeance on her right now at the moment, so I can't show you the Petrify part of it. So we're just gonna have to go and show you guys what he means by that. So this song is not loading. Sorry, guys. Zero, don't do what? What are you guys? What is this? What is this? Leo Mort, I want to file a missing report about my horse. What is this? Who took your horse, bro? Zero, don't work hard, do ASMR, easy money, Bath Life on Twitch, trust? I personally also like Vengeance on her because but that's because I'm a solo queue player mostly right now. So I have to take Vengeance. I have no other option. I cannot survive otherwise, and I have like 3 marksmen in my team and like a mage. So like I'm the only person taking damage, so I have to do it. So following Deku's tip, we wanted to do this. So I guess something more like, and then obviously you would kind of cast your Petrify right there when I casted Vengeance. So I guess the whole point is that when you land this, you can kind of like then rush in, you know, and then I guess it's like a CC chain. But yeah, that's not a bad tip right there. That's a combo tip, guys. He also recommends that we take Concussive Blast, and that can really help in the early game, like when you're trying to like help clear waves. That can really help a lot. Again, I have more of a solo queue type style here. I'll show you guys what I mean by that later. But like we said before, when we want to explain any Carmilla math, it's best always to explain her with percent HP items. That's where she shines the most. So if you have her on your team, you're gonna want to take people on your team, or not even take her. If you're playing solo queue, try to pick her when you have DHS users on your team, or people that abuse Glowing Wand like Chang'e or Harley. So, and then of course, you all know the reason for that is because the damage of DHS gets transferred between multiple targets. And to make it not as difficult to look at, we can kind of show you this. I'm going to punch the higher HP target, obviously, but Layla's going to take that, you know, this is exaggerated numbers, but realistically, in an AoE kind of scenario, you know, all the tanky people taking tons of DHS damage will basically burst any squishies that are linked by Carmilla. That's how it works. But yeah, and then same thing works with Glowing Wand. I don't know why I deleted the bot, but it also works with the bot here, with the Glowing Wand. Here we go. Gonna ult. Obviously, Glowing Wand is going to be a lot less damage than DHS. And of course, that bot over there does have all the magic res that I do. I should probably remove it so that you guys can get a more realistic picture, because marksmen don't really generally build that stuff. So here you go. This is more, I guess, legit in a sense. But you don't always have to pick Carmilla. The reason she's meta is because it's all about burst. So in a way, if you guys want to kind of think about it this way, when you have a bot, right, or not a bot, when you have an enemy, when you have an enemy that has certain characteristics that you can abuse how Carmilla's math works, and it works 2 ways. What we just showed you, and obviously when you have somebody on your team that can do this type of damage, like it's all about the DPS really. Like look at how fast the HP crumbles, the HP bar crumbles. But by the same I guess extension of that idea, when you have somebody on your team that has very high burst damage, like just critical, it doesn't matter as long as it's burst. When you ult and you crit on somebody, obviously they're going to get their crits transferred too. So in theory, it doesn't really matter. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to grab somebody with DHS because we're going to try to maximize Carmilla's ultimate kit. No, 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 no. It goes a little bit beyond that. It's more of like, as long as you have burst on your team, you're going to want to take Carmilla. If you have more of skills that do like little bit of damage over time, that's not generally what Carmilla's built for, because that's not how her ultimate's geared for. Her ultimate is geared towards basically spreading CC and burst, and that's how you would capitalize on something like that. And the people I can think the best that work for her, because of her range of engage and stuff like that, you're going to need people that are very mobile for her. So I know this is a little bit sidetracked from analyzing her skills and all that stuff, like what we normally do, but because she's a support hero, kind of like a little bit different from Angela, which is the only other support we've done in this series, we have to kind of look at it a little bit different and kind of show you guys what works best for her. I guess most importantly, marksman and mage. The fighter also can matter, but mostly mage and marksman. The fighter will matter more for crowd control than anything. But yeah. Hold up, let me catch up on chat real quick. Alright, y'all be... Hold up. I'm not sure if what you guys got going on over there, but just keep it civil, okay? Teammates like CC'd enemies before engaged, they don't know about patch notes. Yeah. From bro. Sorry, bro. Not available right now. Streaming. Uzon can't believe that they... What? I am confused AF about the chat right now. But y'all need to chill. So let's go for the heroes that synergize well with Carmilla. In order, I guess, for marksman, if we go for the DHS side of things, that's definitely going to be Claude. 100% going to be Claude. Second place, probably, that can catch up to her and do the AoE burst, probably be Atrix. If you're looking to spread cancerous kind of debuffs, you're going to have to look more around like Bruno. I think Bruno would be very good at doing that. But other than that, you kind of... It's like people that take too long to ramp up don't really work well with her. Mia is an exception because she can kind of like insta ramp up. The problem is kind of like landing or getting in range with her. So the ability to follow up on Carmilla's sets is also playing a major factor here. So that's why, you know, Beatrix can kind of dash in, use ult, and the ult has a good range. Claude can, you know, teleport, use ult, and he's fast, you know. And Bruno can, you know, he has the ult that can spread the debuff, and his debuff is that armor shred. So that's why these things kind of all work in synergy. Other than that, you're going to have to look for people that do AoE / piercing type things. So we're looking at Moskov, we're looking at Leslie, you know, those kinds of heroes. I'm not sure about Hanabi yet. Her rework has to land still. We'll talk about her more when her rework lands. But other than that, Nathan's really good with her too. Just look for those heroes that are fast, that can kind of, you know, obviously pick on her. Most marksmen are basically going to be okay. Clint is also very good because he does burst, that burst critical damage. Same thing with Layla. The only risk you run with these people, running any of these like squishier marksmen that don't have very high mobility like Layla, is that you can get caught out faster, and Carmilla's not going to be able to peel for you very well because that's not what type of support she is. So if you're going to want to take heroes like Mia, like Wan Wan, like even Brody, you're going to need to basically make sure that you have somebody else on your team, whether it's your tanky jungler or a tanky fighter, somebody else that can peel for your marksman, because otherwise you're not going to be able to do this burst damage. You're going to get focused. Okay? Deku's tips helped me a lot when I tried. Yeah, Deku's got very good tips in general. And he has some like item build tips and stuff like that later. We'll get more on those later when we get to talking about Carmilla's builds. Because she's a support again, it's actually kind of easy to kind of get like a generic build on her. So that's not too hard. But yeah, 0 cent 100 dimes for Ruby event, please trust. Carry. Oh, so carry doesn't really work well with Carmilla, unless, and there's one exception only to this rule. If you have because carry single target, but if you combine Camilla's ultimate with somebody that can group up very well, like Luo Yi, and then carry, then you can handle very chonky comps very effectively because carry's true damage also spreads. Because it's based on percent max HP, it's very good, and everybody has high base HP, so no matter who you target, they're getting kind of chonked away at, right? Other than that, heroes that synergize very, very well with Carmilla are people that can keep up that CC chain or that burst chain. So we're going to look for more people that kind of do that abuse of AoE, basically. Heroes like Bane, heroes like... I almost want to say even Alucard could work here, but heroes like Freya for sure, Ruby, even Hilda, because Hilda can now shred hybrid armor, and if the person you're shredding is sharing damage, all the boosted damage gets transferred to. Lapu's very good because he's AoE. Anybody with a lot of AoE, Kaja, of course, is extremely good with Carmilla because you get to spread that. I believe it's called the... Let me just make sure because I keep on getting confused with this new passive, Paralyze. I keep on wanting to call it Petrify, but it's not Petrify. Mincithar also works well because you can kind of like make sure they don't escape at all. Badang is high-key, low-key broken with Carmilla, of course. The only problem is Badang is like a burst style type fighter, so you're really going to have to get a very chonky tank jungler to be the one tanking here. Guinevere works very well with Carmilla too. Exborg, maybe. Dairoth for sure, because once again, similar to the new Hilda, I wouldn't say you should use Dairoth, but maybe use the new Hilda because she kind of replaces the Dairoth now. But yeah, that works very well too. Sylvana works very well with her, but it doesn't mean that these are good picks. It's just that they're very good synergy with her ultimate. Paquito, definitely both very good in the meta and very good in synergy with her. And Aulus too. Fredrin can kind of keep that CC chain up, so I guess this could be like your tanky side laner for Carmilla, and that'd be very, very effective at keeping everybody grouped up and make sure that they take all the burst damage. Other than that, like I said, AoE is going to win over most things unless it's very high single target burst. So Karina will work because she has very high single target burst. Alucard, I've already mentioned, works. Same thing, Harley. Helkurt, I believe Helkurt to be one of the most underrated picks here, but he still needs some buffs in order to get back into the meta. But yeah, I kind of want to point out that from all the assassins, probably one of the most high synergy with Carmilla is Ammon, because his burst is insane. And it's already AoE at the same time. It's single target, but AoE at the same time. You know what I mean? Hayabusa and Kagura? What? No? Oh, you mean like as a group? I mean, I prefer Haya and Kag over Hanabi and Haya. TBH. Team Kag all the way. 100%. 100%. Don't save S2, you're missing true damage. Yeah, if you're playing carry, don't do that. Wait, oh no. That was in regards to Veil. Carmilla and Veil is also... That's AoE burst, it works. Carmilla and Luo Yi is also cancer. In general, most mages synergize well with her. It's just about, can the mage keep up with Carmilla? Or, those engages. And do they have enough self-peel to make it out of there alive, So Sicilian obviously works well with Carmilla for those reasons, because he can kind of do those things by himself. Kadita's also very good with that. And Eve. Eve is excellent with Carmilla. Does Hanabi, Carmilla, and Sicilian work? Yeah, that can work. I wouldn't recommend Hanabi at the moment. Just wait for her buff to come out. But yeah, that can work very well. Alice can do 1v1 at solo lane? Yes, she can. If you nerf Alice in the early game, she's basically like, think of Alice. Alice right now is what Aldous used to be. You know, Aldous, kind of was like this, like, just let him stack and you basically secure the late game. You're gonna win the late game. It's similar to how Sicilian works. Just make sure you reach that late game, and this guy's just gonna scale very well into the late game. And Alice is the same way. Just late game, she becomes almost unstoppable. So very good synergies that you're choosing here for Carmilla for sure. What I find working is... Whoa? Hold on, Yuzong, which one are you talking about? Because you're saying don't save S2, wrong thing, you're missing true damage, use flicker. I always make sure I'm in range... Wait, no, that's Sapphire. What I do find working is very fast... Oh, it is carry. Okay, I was just making sure. Yeah, so basically, even with the updates to carry for that comment, they're moving her away from attack speed and moving her more to a CDR type hero. So those of you that don't know about that, carry is changing. The devs want her to move away from attack speed items and focus more on CDR items. So that's where that comment came from. Odette and Carmilla, yes, another good combo. Yes, of course. But yeah, in terms of maximizing your team damage and spreading your team's damage, definitely Carmilla's got to be one of the top ones, for sure. Let me check my build real quick. So, well, I guess we should keep on. We're just finished talking about her skills real quick. Her speed up, her S2 is a speed up, and if you cast it during that countdown part of it, like you guys see that, it's gonna stun the enemy for longer. That's all it means. If you don't save it, you're gonna have lower amount of crowd control. So look how long this guy's stunned. And if I wait, obviously, till it turns red, he's stunned for a longer amount of time. That's all that is. We kind of showcased the ultimate already and what it does. It lands a small immobilize and it links the enemies for 5 seconds. And they kind of take 50%. So if you hit this guy for 2,000 damage, the guy behind him takes 1,000 damage. If you stun this guy for, 2 seconds, the other person beside him is also stunned for 2 seconds. So the CC has been changed from previous patches. So now, the CC is 100% transferable. So if you do petrify or anything like that, they all get petrified for the same duration. And that's basically why Deku was telling us that you need to kind of, use your ult, go in, and then do that, and then do this. And then you get some very good chain CC going on. That's why, that's where it came from. And yeah, other than that, I think that pretty much summarizes her skills in general. What about why is carry being changed to CDR? Because the devs want it to be. That's what they said in the patch notes. It's just they're reducing her not the CC, the duration of the cooldown in her S2 to be like 0.5 seconds essentially late game. So you will not benefit as much from building attack speed on her because you're just going to be dashing that much more often. That's basically why. They're literally making her CDR 4 seconds without any items straight up in the late game. Yeah. So that's what the devs are going for, so that you guys can build more of these CDR items like EB, and I guess War Axe or BLX even, or build tankier with Thunderbelt and Oracle. I'm not sure where they're headed specifically. All I know is that they're headed for CDR type builds on carry. It's the reasoning that they claim is to make sure that she's more mobile on the battlefield, and that she can, because they think she's too slow right now compared to other marksmen like Claude, and they want her to be able to move faster, basically. Ana of MLA is the most busted mage in support in MLB universe. Really? That's interesting. So, let's talk about Carmilla's weaknesses, because when you pick her up, everybody says she's OP, she's meta right now, but realistically, if you don't know her weaknesses, you're going to get folded, right? So like I said before, if you're the sole tank on your team, you're going to not be able to take the stuff like Petrify. You're going to have to build Vengeance. One of her weaknesses there. When you get kind of like pushed into some team or similar to other fighters, I guess, once you're locked into a CC zone, it's very difficult for her to escape. So once you commit, you're kind of stuck in there until your skill comes back on cooldown, right? So that's another downside to it. That's why she has this regen on her passive and stuff. But once you fight heroes that kind of like start to stop your regen or start to just burst you, you're going to suffer similar to how other fighters suffer in that range. So that's one of her biggest weaknesses, I would say. And also, she has no real big element of surprise. Even if you have the conceal boots, and let me get the roaming gold here so I can show you what I mean by that. She's not like other roamers where you can kind of go like, okay, we got this, and you know, that's basically it. That's what you can do. She's not like other roamers where they can use conceal and then basically follow up with this nasty crowd control or engage like Kufra or Atlas. You're not going to be expecting those types of ganks from her. Most of her conceal type ganks are going to look like this. Kind of like that. Or if we follow Deku's tips, they're going to look more like this. You know, land this, and then do that, and then use Petrify, you know. But, like I said, those are her biggest weaknesses. It's not like she sucks, because obviously she's meta right now for a reason. It's just that you guys should be aware that heroes like Luo Yi really, really punish her. So, it's just the way it is. I wish that she could have some type of more different type of durability other than her passive, which needs to hit enemies, personally. But it is what it is, you know. We deal with what we got, you know. MLA has awesome concepts. The problem with MLA skins and stuff like that is that if you do that in MLBB, you can kind of get like lose the rated E for everyone stuff. So yeah, Yuzan Carmilla sucks in solo queue. I kind of disagree a little bit, because there are some solo queue matches where you know you're playing with people with brains, and she could be really good in those teams. Like, you could basically have a guaranteed win on the enemies if you pick her in the right solo queue game. But yeah, 99% of the time it's solo queue, people are gonna sell. Don't do it. Don't do yourself like that. But yeah, strengths of course for Carmilla comes in that she is the single support in the game with her unique ultimate, able to kind of spread damage in the way that she does. Nobody else can do what she does. And that's why IMO, she's just built different. She's always been on my radar. And she's also a very good jungler. People take her jungle for similar reasons. You know, she's just very, very, very fast at jungling at the same time. And for the longest time, it was her and Baxia. And if you guys remember, those two are basically what fueled the tank meta, the tank jungle meta. Those two picks right there alone are basically the beginnings, the progenitors of the tank meta, the tank jungle meta. People with brains exist in solo queue. I have to show you guys a match after we talk about Carmilla, so you guys can lose your brain cells with me. And I'll explain to you what happened in the draft and everything, but I want to show you guys that match. It's actually very entertaining. But yeah, let's talk about the build now. This build right here is more for solo queue. I wouldn't recommend you build this in ranked, in like 5-man comps, because you're not supposed to be doing this. This is more for me because this is what I have to do. This is literally what I have to do in solo queue along with Vengeance. It's painful. But in high ELO, you want to prioritize Dom Ice because obviously it's the most broken item in the game for tanks. Then you get Oracle to boost your heal, because otherwise you're not going to be surviving very much time in those team fights. I'm actually pretty much on par with Deku's build here. Then he kind of builds, this is Deku's build. I'm going to go ahead and build it here so you guys can see it. And I can tell you why he says this is a very good generic build. The last few are situational. So yeah, I agree with that. These first three are core. I agree. Then right here, it's all situational. But I can explain the logic behind these. Right here is for skill casters to reduce their physical attack, to build, Dreadnought passive, hit some debuffs on the enemy. Normal stuff that you would buy the Antique for. This right here, the Guardian Helmet, is so that when you disengage off the enemy, you don't have to recall for health. You can just kind of chill around, maybe, scout the enemy zone a little bit, and you're still regenerating your health because of Sky Guardian, It's just because you're low from an engage, which I can show you guys what I mean. It's not that hard to show you. So let's just say we had a really, really cancer team fight, and I can only do this now. All I have to do is kind of just hang out, just look around, scout around, maybe hit the regen button, and then after a couple of seconds, instead of, wasting that time walking back to where I need to be, I could kind of be proactive here, give vision at least, or in some way, shape, or form. Which also points me to my next weakness for her, guys. Bush checkers. You're gonna need somebody on your team that can bush check very well, because if you don't have it, you're gonna need somebody like like Kagura, or one of your fighters or your tank jungler is gonna have to do it, because if you don't, Carmilla's not very good at face checking bushes. And you just need those heroes that can kind of, cast their skills into bushes and kind of reveal enemies. That's gonna be very good for you, because Carmilla can't do that. I forgot to mention that. It's very important, actually. But other than that, immortality is there for immortality purposes. You guys know why it's there. It's not like it's a crazy, I need to explain why you would build it. But like Deku said, those last three items are just up to you. If you're getting beat up by a Claude, definitely get Blade Armor. If you're getting beat up by the enemy's Loyi or Sicilian or something, get your Athena Shield, Worst case scenario, your build is going to look something like this. And if it's definitely higher on the burst damage, physical burst damage, it's going to look like this late game. Because you got Oracle and Athena's, and that's basically as good as it gets for magic items, magic res. Then you got 1, 2, 3 physical, and you also have this other magic one right here, but it's more for the CC reduction than anything. But still, you kind of, I guess you can see the balance is what I'm trying to show. This would be like your worst case scenario. You are the chonkiest MFer alive on the planet. This is as good as it gets for tank items, really. How does she trigger its passive? Oh, favor? You can build favor on her, yeah, but most of the people on your team might get, excuse me, they might get mad at you if you build favor, because they want those engages and stuff from the conceal. I typically build, I don't care what they say, because it's solo queue most of the time. I usually build encourage, just my own preference. But yeah, favor works whenever you heal in general. So let me take some damage so you guys can see what I mean. So favor is gonna work like, let me put up an enemy. I think it only procs on enemies. We'll see. Unless they nerfed it and it doesn't proc anymore. When casting a shield skill, the hero restores, or healing. So let's try and heal, I guess. Nope. Yeah, I don't think it works anymore, guys. It used to work. I know you used to cast S1 and it would proc favor. Not anymore, I guess. I guess it's not the type of like casting type heals. I don't know. I guess we just have to deal with it. Yeah. It has to be something you cast that affects more than just you. So if you have like the healing spell, the fountain one, maybe you can work with that, but it's not working anymore, guys. Sorry. What do I think of Nate and crit? Sorry, I just saw that F. My bad, bro. I think that's still my preferred way of building him. But it's not just like building crit for the crit, but it's more like building crit for the DPS. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen my Nathan build. I haven't changed it for a reason, because it's still the highest DPS version of Nathan out there, no matter what. So it is what it is, you know. I'll show you guys the build. That's where I'm going right now. I used to have Berserkers in there, but realistically speaking, it's just better if you get the Scarlet. This is the build right here. Oh, what's going on? Is my stream being scuffed again or something? Hold up. Kai's sending a message. Yeah, that, or I got some weird message coming through. We just started? No, oh, we've been out here. We've been talking for a bit, Sir Chasm. Show the build and damage in practice I need to see? Sure. Why not? So I have him geared up to more critical damage here. You don't necessarily have to take the Weapon Master. You can take whatever you want. Just build it for crit damage. Okay. Little sidetrack here, but I guess it works because I guess you can see why Nathan would be good with Carmilla. A lot of AoE here. Okay. So, in general, this is how I still build him when I get a chance to play him, which I haven't much because I haven't played much, but in general, this is what I do with Nathan. Okay? I usually get this item first, and then I get this item next. Right here. So this is what you're gonna see me running in the early game for him. I sell this item at about anywhere from level 11 through 15 is when I sell it. It just depends. And sometimes I grab the steel leg plates as well. So like after my boots, it depends on the enemies. But generally this is the build early game. Then after that you can kind of just sell this. I usually don't sell my Fury Hammer until I have my Malefic or something similar. I usually don't sell it until after this, really. But anyways, let's go ahead and show you the DPS of this. And I'll tell you why I get Brute Force in a sec as well, because I don't like to get bursted, obviously, but here. This is just one bot, right? So I'm going to put like 5 over here so I just stack really quick. And I'm going to use my ultimate. I'm going to hit this guy with the... There you go. And that's basically it. That's Nathan's kit in a nutshell. If you don't do your Inspire, obviously your damage is going to be way lower. If you do Inspire, then it's obviously going to be way higher. It's more of an Inspire based build, but you will melt anything really. It's a lot of damage. Is Corrosion Scythe valid? It mixes early very good. Not if you're going for this type of build. I personally don't like. I'm not. How do I explain it? It's not that Corrosion does less damage here. I'll show you what I mean. Like, let's just punch this guy a little bit so you can get some DPS measurements. There you go. Around 3,000 DPS, right? If I sell this for Corrosion, and I remove the bot and put in a new one, it's not like you have less DPS with Corrosion. Nope. I did not unplug anything, it just kind of went haywire. Sorry, I'll just restart the bot, don't worry. So, it's not like you have less DPS, right? You still have around 3,000 DPS. That's not what's different. And also Corrosion Scythe passive, it applies on his little orbs. The little, like the passive of his, those carry Corrosion Scythe. So it's not like it's a bad item. The only reason I don't recommend it over Windtalker is because of the wave clear, and that's just like helps in rotations, so and mobility as well. So it helps you be faster, more mobile, and it can be very critical when you can just kind of like one shot a wave, or two shot it, because you can cast this S1, S2, punch the wave once or twice, and then you're done. You can move along to the next tower. What about in jungle? I still would, like I said, this if you're gonna use Scarlet, you're gonna need to build Windtalker. If you don't want Scarlet, if you really aren't gonna do Scarlet Phantom, which you can sell it. If you wanna try to force Corrosion Scythe into the build, you can. You're just gonna have to do something like Corrosion and then like Golden Staff type thing. Because if you're not gonna crit, it doesn't matter, right? You might as well stack Corrosion super fast with the passive of the Golden Staff, right? So that you can just build those stacks faster. It's up to you, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it personally. It's just not something I would. The math, at least, in the playstyle, doesn't really suit a fast-paced type Nathan. Windtalker being critical. So same build for jungle and gold? Yeah, for sure. The only exception to that is that you can probably get away with, when you're jungling, you can probably get away with putting off brute force, or something like that. You can probably get away with a little bit more bursty type building as a jungler, because you have more resources focused to keeping you alive. Is it a good decision to copy top builds while using tanks like Atlas or supports like Carmilla? No. No, 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 no. It's definitely not a good idea to, especially when you're talking about tanks and supports. You really need to, those are the most critical. You do not copy. The only thing that is, I can give you a quick standard thing. I'm not a roamer myself, but I do know a lot about their items. So most roamers, okay, with the exception of people that have regen type skills in them, most roamers will get the either the warrior or the tough boots. 99% of the time it's the tough boots to get out of crowd control faster. But then the number one item you can't go wrong with as a roamer in general is Dom Ice. After that, you kind of just have to look at the enemies and what they have and just counter build them, right? So whoever's doing the most damage or whoever comes online faster. So if you know that the enemy has Claude and you already have Dom Ice, you're not gonna rush Blade Armor, right? Because they might have a mage that can abuse you with their multi hits, like that scale really fast in the early game, like Chang'e. So if you got those types of mages, you're gonna have to build Radiant. Maybe they have somebody with a lot of burst magic that isn't really like chip damage like Chang'e. Then you might have to build Athenas. Maybe you're getting deleted by the Lancelot or the Leomord or the Martis, and a lot of skill damage is going on. Maybe you need a Russian Antique or a Dreadnought. And for some of these items, you don't have to build the full thing to get the passive. So when you have to build the full item, you have to build it. There's no option. There's no way around it. Those items are usually magic items like Oracle, Athena's, and Radiant. Physical items have a little bit more leeway here because you have something like the steel leg plates that exist, and you have something like Dreadnought armor that exists. So those have a little bit more flexibility in them. Then you have the external ones that don't really help you tank more, but they help you be more present on the battlefield, like Guardian Helmet and Immortality. So it's just more survivability. And then you have the damage ones. So if you're somehow trying to do damage, I guess, as roamer, these two would be the ones that come up to mind. And that basically, in a nutshell, kind of summarizes most of these items. Thunderbell is not really picked as a roamer. It's more for people that for fighters in general when it's taken. But yeah, you definitely don't want to grab random top globals stuff, because their stuff is more for their stuff in general. The what they have is not for what you think it is. Let me go pull up some of them. I'll just pull up Fredrin, I guess. See, this is, well, I guess Fredrin's not a good example because he's more of a XP laner. Let's go for a more traditional tank like Atlas, okay? So here you go. There's the Dom Ice. This is, once again, allows you to be more survivability. It doesn't help you tank more. It just helps you be present and around more often. So if you get caught out in a bad spot, it allows for more error in your plays. So if you mess up your flicker, you get caught out, Immortality can save you. There's your Athena shield that we're talking about. There's that Antique and there's that Radiant. And that's mostly because Atlas has the most issues against mages than anything. Occasionally, of course, once the marksman scales into late game, you can get bursted and stuff, but in general, the people with the crowd control effects and the bursts that kill Atlas are the mages, because they can kind of poke and check those bushes where he likes to hide. So it's not like that's a bad build at all. It's just like that build is meant for that player. And if you're playing Atlas, do ignore these builds. But if you're playing Atlas, you're gonna have to take more of those like typical chonky builds with Dom Ice, and then you're either gonna get Antique or Athena's usually with Atlas. And then some people even build a Fleeting Tom on him. If you're like really pub stomping enemies, like you got like a very nasty snowball and they really can't do much about you, some people even build Fleeting Time. So it all depends. It's all itemization. And we made a stream at one point talking in detail about all these items. You can check. It's in a playlist. You can just check the playlist. It's on the channel. Let me see. I'll tell you which playlist it's in. I should be on the important videos or important VODs. Yeah, important VODs. It's right there. It should be also in important videos. Let me check for you. No, those are just videos. Yeah, important VODs is where it's at. And that one is called itemization. So we kind of have to, we basically went through and tier listed all the items in that stream. That's what it was about. I got the link for you. Now that I'm here, let me grab it for you. Here you go. So that's a previous stream we did, and we talked in depth about itemization in the game. So if you're interested in that stuff and you really want to learn about that stuff, look through that VOD at your own time, at your own leisure. But all those important VODs, you can kind of skim through them. You know, there's in-depth Bane guide in there. There's the NPG series as well. So if you're, I guess, new player stuff in there. The tier lists are all in there because they're obviously important. It shows how you're keeping track of things. And then all the labs that we've been doing are also in there, you know. So that's basically what that list is for, and hopefully it helps you out. But yeah, back to Carmilla, guys. We're almost done anyway, so we're pretty much almost there. Okay, bro, thanks a lot. So your favorite content creator for ML, you never ignore my questions. I try. I mean, I try to look at chat. Like, I missed Af's question earlier with the crit thing for Nathan because I didn't read it. I read it, but like it was just like buried in the chat, and he reiterated it. And so if I miss your question and I'm trying to read and catch up on chat, just let me know, or just say it once or twice. Don't spam, of course, but just if I didn't catch you when I say okay, I'm catching up on chat, that's probably your chance to post it, because that's when I'm literally like my eyes are on the chat, you know. But thank you. Yuzong, the thing about top build, you will only see the build I set as default. Yeah, and it's so what Yuzong means by that is if you make it to the top leaderboard, you can put, if let's say I am the #1 Hanabi global, right, and and I make it to the leaderboards, and I go like, oh yes, I'm gonna set this as yeah, you know, the best Hanabi build. I got this, you know, like, oh yes, and when you just copy or just copy paste top builds, you're gonna see that, and they're just like, okay, this guy's definitely trolling, you know. But by the same logic, they could do something to troll you, and basically put in a build that doesn't really work on Hanabi. Something like they might put in like something like this, and you're like, oh, they're top global. They must know what they're talking about. You know, they're definitely not trolling me, right? They wouldn't troll me. This looks legit. It looks like a Claude type build. I can see why it would work on Hanabi. This looks like it's gonna work. It looks good, you know. And then when you come and you actually use it in a game and you just get folded because there's absolutely no penetration in this build, and it's DHS based, which only applies to the first person you hit, not anybody off your pedal AOE spread. So and then you just get folded in ranked, and you're like, man, it's just my skill issue. It's not the builder because that top global has it, right? Nah, 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 nah. You got trolled. You got trolled. You definitely got trolled. So just be careful. Ask around. That's why it's best to be part of ML communities in general, because you can ask, and they'll probably not guide you astray as bad as top global builds will inside the game, you know? Yeah, like Crit Claude, exactly, just like that. The only time you can get crit, yeah, exactly what I've said. The only time Crit Claude can work is if the enemy has like enemies that are not gonna benefit from DHS. Like, if they said, okay, well, they got Claude. Well, let's just not take anybody that's tanky, right? Because Claude's just going to melt us anyway. Let's just build Burst, right? That's when you kind of maybe be valid for choosing the crit Claude. So that's kind of what you're looking at. Other than that, we don't really have to talk about Carmilla's place in the meta because everybody knows it. She's meta. Pick her ban jungle / roam right now for reasons we stated obviously earlier. We went through her builds already. Her emblems, you're either going to go Concussive Blast, or if you're going solo queue, you can do what I do and go to the Magic Shop, because I'm a tank and I need my items fast, and it's solo queue, and I'm the only one tanking, so skill issue. I need to survive in these streets the way I can, you know? Copium. And I'm gonna read to see if, let me just make sure if Deku said anything else for her. Oh, okay. So the only thing else that Deku said in the Discord was that he recommends Fredrin and Ruby for her, which is what we said earlier. You want to pair her up with CC chain heroes. Don't let her be the only person on your team tanking things. Put somebody else there that can do this for you. And you'll benefit more. You'll have better success in your comps if you do that. Zero, do you think they should buff Harley damage to jungle creeps? No, absolutely not. I don't think they need to buff that thing. Harley's already broken enough as is. And they're already buffing him indirectly. And those indirect buffs are already insane. So I don't think I think there's absolutely no reason for Harley to be buffed. No, none whatsoever. And I think if we buff Harley anymore, he's just gonna get pick or ban. Which, I mean, I think Moontom's moving in that direction anyways. So we're not too far off from seeing Harley being picked or banned. But that's probably gonna be next season, to be realistic with you guys. Yeah, indirect buffs are going crazy. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the glowing one buff that hit is going to work in Harley's favor. The only thing that's an indirect nerf to him is the new Dom Ice that can reduce his attack speed. But like, considering if you properly target what you're supposed to target with Harley, it doesn't really apply to him. But the new glowing one buff, I'm not sure if it's out. I'll double check real quick. Yeah, it's already out. Increases their magic damage taken by 2 to 4 skills, you know, stacks. And I don't think the new Feather of Heaven is out. Oh, no. No. If the new Feather of Heaven isn't out, then the new glowing one isn't out. Whenever you guys see that update hit, the way you guys can check is when you check these regular spears. When you guys see that new component for Corrosion Scythe and Feather of Heaven, that's when you know Harley's indirect buff is out on the official server. Let me show you guys this game. We're pretty much done with the Carmilla stuff. Harley Picker ban would never happen in a while. It could. It really could. I'm trying to tell you. That's just the way they're kind of gearing things up. I'm pretty sure that's all we had to talk about Carmilla, though. Emblems, we already discussed. Battle spells, again, I like to take Vengeance because I play solo queue mostly. In high elo, you're going to want to take either Flicker or Petrify for sure. So, yeah. Sicilian, Carmilla, and Leomortar Cancer. There's actually more to that than you might think. Yes, those are Cancer because Leomortar Chonky and stuff and Burst and stuff, but if you can get yourself Badang, a Badang is going to make your life joyful with Carmilla. But the downside to that is you're going to need to have Carmilla as a jungler, and you're going to have some type of support as your roamer. Something more like Sicilian with Carmilla as jungler. I guess let me rephrase that whole thing. Hold up. Something like Rafaela with Carmilla jungle and Sicilian mid with Badang on XP lane and Melissa on gold lane. That would be a very, very, very strong comp right there. Martis is still banned sometimes. He's just not banned that much more in high elo Sarchasm because of his nerf. That 92 or 150 extra physical attack down to 90 gutted him for most of the high elo people. But in low elo matches, it's still very much people still ban him because he can still stomp people. Because his early game really didn't get affected. It's his late game that got affected more. With that being said, let me show you guys this match. I'll give you guys a history on it. So here's what happened, okay? I don't really remember what order the enemies picked their picks, but on our side, Benedetta didn't pick anything, so it auto-locked to Benedetta as the last thing, and she was the first pick. We had first pick, obviously. Then the enemies picked whatever they picked, then we had our own two picks. Mia was in second slot, along with the Xavier. So the Xavier locks Xavier, and then the Mia says up, and I was showing Wan Wan. So then I get traded Wan Wan. I'm like, okay, that means he's not going to pick Mia, right? So now I'm over here with Wan Wan. The enemy picks their next two heroes. And we flip back over here, and it's our last two picks, which the guy takes Cho, and he locks it as a roamer. That's why you see the tank emblem on him and stuff, and he had Flicker. And then this dude just locks Mia. Like, straight up. He just literally just locks Mia. That's cap. He's still perma banned high elo. I have not seen him banned in any of Rito's matches. So that's why I said that. Or scrims either. Or anything related to that. I mean, occasionally I have, but like it's not as prominent. I don't know which hero will come to meta, but WS is forever banned. Lamau. I think you have like a 50% at least chance of getting him up in Mythical Glory. Sarchasm. So, but yeah, so that's what happened in this match, right? So we're over here like WTF, right? So we just say Mia go jungle, right? Because the only other person who can jungle is Benedetta, and she's over here being brain dead anyway. So we're not going to rely on her for jungling. We said Benny or Mia jungle, and neither of them did anything. So the last 3 seconds, Cho flips to the Retri because we don't have a jungler. And so with all that in mind, we can watch the video itself, the replay. And I want to show you guys, not just my perspective, I want to show you guys the perspective of this phenomenal Mia player, okay? So remember, we told her to go jungle, right? She didn't want to. So obviously I'm going gold lane, and guess where she goes? So you can tell everybody was raging here. Except for Benny. Benny was just silent. I think she was just dead. She was just like in that solo queue mode where you're just like, whatever. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just playing my own game. Leave me alone. I'm in my own lane, you know? So, no, this is not a roam Mia. This is just a Mia that's just being, was told to go jungle, didn't go jungle, and then instead of jungling, or instead of, going mid lane or doing something else, she goes and still chose jungle stuff. So, there you go. There you have it. OP Mia. This Cho eventually switches from jungling to just being kind of supporter in my lane, because it just turns into an all-out brawl down in the bot lane eventually. But yeah, this Mio is just being weird. Like, okay, she just like nerfed the Cho's XP and gold from the early game of the jungle, which is the most critical. Now she's up here where Benny's kind of low, and she's gonna go ahead and steal some stuff from Benny now. So like, she's just out here trying to make everybody less OP. The only lane she stayed away from was mine, and I'm grateful for that, because that's why we won the game in the end. And there you have it. High ELO trolling. That's crazy because Deku just casted. Yeah, I saw that. MLSA. Oh, hold up. MLSA, Aquaman won the entire thing 6-0, and for a 3.9 for Steam Mars was banned every game. That's insane. I guess he's, like I said, I guess people just ban him out of respect, but in general, people let Martis slide more often than not. Inari, just look up, literally, like, not even like that many days ago, look up for the MLSA from like a previous day or something, and you'll see what I mean. By the way, I like what they did with Wenwen's ultimate there, where the returning marks of her S1 can now like activate side weaknesses. I like that they removed her stun, and they gave her that, because now it's easier to get your ultimate without having to like dash into enemy's face, But yes, once again, this Mia's over here doing her thing, just making sure that people just stay a little bit nerfed. But other than that, at this point, we really don't care about Mia, because she just stays away from everybody. She just stays off the face of the planet from this point on. And right here is where the enemy messes up more than anything, and we just take advantage of the situation. He's gonna come in, and he fails. He flickered, or not flickered, he did his S2 or S3, the second part of his dash way too fast. So this Gajin has skill issue, and we just take advantage of that, honestly. More than anything, we just capitalize on the skill issue that the Gajin had. And I save my ult, I don't use it on anybody, I obviously save it for that Tigreal, and we just basically capitalize off this. Once you have this type of advantage in solo queue, you don't want to let it go. And that's why you see Cho literally give up all his jungle, just not do anything, just let Mia do the jungle even without. I don't know why she didn't take retry. She's literally just jungling the rest of the game. Like, if you're gonna be doing this, you should have just listened to us and take retry. You know what I mean? So that Cho could actually roam and support. But no, she didn't. But anyways, the whole point is that after this, Cho goes on like basically roaming sprees where he kind of just chills out in my lane to just help me survive. And so he made the right play there, because that's, like I said, that's what won us the game. And Xavier too. Xavier was basically the roamer this game. We got one rotation from Benny, and it's kind of dog water, not gonna lie, kind of scuffed, but they do enough for me to the point that I'm just like, okay, I can take this time to do these things. I have Inspire up right here, and I burn it on this tower because it's about to be 5 minutes, and I want as much tower gold as I can. It's gonna mean that I can't really be super aggressive on my engages on the next time around, but I needed that gold, and I knew I could get it within that time limit. Why are we watching you play Wanwan? Because this game is scuffed, man. You guys, do you not realize what we're seeing here? Like, you look at this. This is Troll 101. Solo queue pains, bro. Or do you guys want to see one where I lose? Where I literally go like 14-1 something with Harley, and I still lose the damn match because my teammates are brain dead. You guys prefer the suffering ones? Is that what it is? Can I not have one where I don't suffer as much? I mean, I'm sweating on this game to survive, to win this game, because I know if these enemies scale just a little bit, there's no win. There's no chance we win. And this is where Mia rotates down here. I really don't care because I have my core items. I really don't care at this point that she's down here. She's just basically extra tank material. And no, I don't burn ult because I know Guzhin's still alive and I'm going to get bursted if I don't. So, yeah, when you play Wan, you just have to, I guess, just learn when to ult more than anything. Because if you do it at the wrong time, you're going to have it down. Like, some enemies just bait out your ult on purpose so you just don't have it and then you just catch you. So just, yeah. Bro, why did I put Faramis as A tier in Rome? And if you're talking about the latest tier list, that is because they changed Faramis's ultimate, his Cult Valtar, or whatever it's called. They changed it so that whenever you, as an ally, walk out of it, you lose the shield it provides permanently. Like, if you walk out of it once, you can't just walk back into it and you have your shield again, right? No. You lose your shield completely once you walk out of that ultimate. And because of that alone is why, if you have a high mobility type team, which is what Faramis used to be picked for, you lose that the buffer zone. You lose that shield, and you just can't capitalize on it as much. That's why he had to be deranked a lot, and that's why he's no longer banned at all in high elo for the same reason. That's why he fell from the meta, because Moonton nerfed him so hard. They let him have his glory for a little bit, but then they said, nah, never mind. And there's more Guzhin skill issue. If he was really like good, I would not survive that. Why is Yuzong worked against Philippine in IESF finals? So Yuzong is getting picked up again. And again, that's because that's where Mobile Legends is shifting. Remember, you guys, I told you guys that Mobile Legends is shifting in general back to skill casters, not basic attack people. Wan, Mia, anybody that really relies on melee and attack speed, those heroes are getting nerfed to the ground. Well, not to the ground, but they're getting shifted out for those skill-based attack people. And if you look at XP lane right now, the most prominent one is like Fredrin or Benny or all those other heroes, and a lot of those heroes Yuzong does well into. The meta of the heroes which Yuzong did bad into is dying, so Yuzong is going back up into the meta for the same reason. If you paid attention to how Mobile Legends does their stuff, it's more than anything, it's because of M4. Because I said it before, I've said it so many times before. My, superstition or tinfoil hat on conspiracy theory is that anybody with really nice, ultimates that look nice on the battlefield, anything like that in general really, really, really gets buffed for M4. Anything that has really good team fight stuff. So, like, those are the types of people. I'll get you in a second, Bean. I saw it. I'm just trying to explain this one first. But yeah, any type of people that have these nice looking ultimates, they generally get buffed right before M4 for the same reason. Like, they change the meta if they have to, but they make sure that those heroes always come up. So if you look at previous M3, those top XP picks, I would not be surprised if a lot of them make it back on M4 for the same reason, because a lot of them used to be skill casters. But yeah. Bean, is there a point in breaking all the turrets? I've been dragged over to other lanes to break them, even though I've already broke all the ones in mine. Yes. So when you break turrets, your team gets benefits, meaning your minions get stronger. The more there's like a, think of it like a scale. If you break this inhibitor turret, down here, these 3 inhibitors, your team can cast out big minion waves, like the very, very strong minion waves. And that is critical. There's also the fact that you gain, you open up the map. I can give you a little bit more of an explanation of that in a second here. I guess we just have to wait for this match to finish a little bit more. But let me change the song because it's kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. But when they make you break the turrets, the most critical turret that you break in any match is going to be the mid lane turrets, because these are where the waves come up the fastest, and they also open up both of the jungle areas. So if you break mid wave, first tower, you get free access to sneaking up on blue or red, and that's critical. Same thing with this one, it even opens up even more for red. So the mid lane by far is the most important one. And outer turrets are not generally seen as like critical objectives. The only thing I would say is the gold turret that happens in the first 5 minutes of the match. If you can get yours, and then you can just trade lanes with somebody, so you can get it from a different lane, you can get a very heavy, and I mean heavy, gold lead off of enemies. So if you're looking to maximize your gold and your teammates allow it, you know, you should be able to get your gold from here, and then get your gold from here, and get your gold from here. Best case scenario. Other than that, like I said, when you break these inhibitor turrets, your minions become stronger. And if you look over here, in general, I guess it has to be those inhibitors. At some point back in the day, it used to scale, but not anymore. But other than that, it's mostly for opening up the map so that the enemy cannot hide under the turret. Turrets are extremely dangerous to dive because they just beat you up, right? They do a lot of damage. So you just want to take them out. And it's more important late game. I'll show you why. Again, another thing that happens here. Hold up. So in the late game, when you're doing Lord, in solo queue, it's not going to happen much, but in more organized teams, they usually try to synergize the mid wave and the bottom wave with Lord, so that the enemy can't just focus all their resources on Lord, and they have to split their resources between, you know, all 3 lanes. That's called wave synchronization, and that's how, in general, you win games. You break multiple towers at once. In this game, we only had synchronized 2 waves. And you can see that the enemies couldn't defend both of those waves, and that's why we won this game. Were this match to be prolonged, the top and the middle lane, those we would be sending out super minions basically every wave after that. Estes is S tier, I believe. Let me double check my tier list. Yeah, okay, we have in the S, I can just actually just stream this. Hold up, let me switch over to that so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So we got Estes over here in S tier, right behind Minotaur. So one of the strongest picks, I guess. Definitely. The thing about that, Yuzong, is that Estes is one of the few heroes that you cannot technically counter with anti-heal unless you have Baxia. If you have Baxia, you might have a chance, but otherwise, even with anti-heal, Estes heals too much. That's why he shines. Yeah, all right, let me go back to that so I can like summarize it and not make it complicated for you, Bean. Let me show you. That was in the middle of the match, so it's hard to explain. It should be very easy. I'm gonna break it down in the easiest way I can for you. Okay. And I'll go ahead and explain what the ideal tower breaking mechanism will be as well. So, if you're gold lane, your objective obviously is to break your tower that you're dealing with. But more than anything, before 5 minutes, if you get all the gold shield off the tower, then move to a different lane if possible and get the gold shield from that one. And again, if possible, move to a different lane and get the gold shield from that one. That way you can maximize your gold. Then after 5 minutes, if you still are forced to stay in your lane, obviously try to break that tower. But ideally, you want to break this mid tower because it opens up the map more than any other tower in this game. At least it's the most critical one, followed by this guy. But once you break a tower, the next tower will get a shield. So you're going to try to alternate. So once you, ideally, of course, break this one, then you go to either gold or XP lane and break that tower. Then go to the gold or XP lane and break the other tower. So you go middle, top or bot, and then top or bot, depending on which one you broke. Then you go back to middle and then repeat middle, top or bot, middle, top or bot. That's in general, if you want to think about a rhythm or a way to do it best, that's your best cue for it. Other than that, let me show you what I mean by the why you want to do it that way, why you want to offset them. Let me show you why. Let me just get a bunch of attack speed. I'm gonna get God mode too, so I can just kill this tower. One second, almost there. Okay, now this tower now has a shield on it. You can see it right there. Depending on what graphics settings you have, you can see different things. But basically, this shield right here is gonna last for a minute. And depending on your map, it also might have a ring under it where you can see how long it's gonna last. But basically, long story short, it's more difficult to kill this tower now because you just broke the one before it in the early game. So then that's why it's more recommended to go punch a tower that doesn't have that shield, that damage resistance that one has. And that's basically it. That's it in a nutshell. And the reason you want to break all these towers is because when you break those inhibitors, you send out super minions. I'll show you with this. I think I can show you in this mode too with what I mean by that as well. Let me double check. And then other than that, it just helps when you're doing Lord or stuff to have other towers down. Because if you have all these towers out of the picture and your teammates are doing Lord, you could also have the opportunity for backdoor if the enemy doesn't respond to somebody in this lane. So yeah. But yeah, there are definite advantages to this bean. 100%. It works in practice good. If you look at the wave that Zilong is going to die to, or you look at how big these minions are, goodness gracious, it's taking forever. EOD maybe? But you see what I mean, they just get chonky. So you're going to have to alternate them ideally. Alright. This is the wave that you see has one crossbow minion. Now it's normal. So 2 small ones and a crossbow. But now over here, you look at these minions. See how they're different? Like look at how they look like. Like just look at them. And when you look at the ones coming up now, they're just beefier. They do more damage and they tank more tower shots. And that's your biggest advantage of breaking down inhibitor turrets. Because these take longer to kill. I hate getting American randogs, man. These kids getting drafted Mythic 4. Yep. Tell me about it. Yeah, gold plating for 5 minutes equals more gold. Yes. Waves timing. Yeah, wave. What that means is okay. So when you kill Lord, right? When you kill Lord, you get you see this minion wave right here, the one that just spawned the chonky one. You get an even bigger one from the Lord. A matter of fact, let me go kill the Lord so you guys can see it. But you get 3 of them. You get like all 3 of them spawn. One goes to each lane, of course. Hopefully that does it. Yeah, look at that. Look how much bigger they are. And they come along with Lord, right? So those 3 ahead of Lord come out in each lane, right? And Lord doesn't always spawn in mid lane. He spawns in whatever lane he wants to. But what you have to do is make sure that by the time you have to clear up the other lanes, so that by the time that Lord actually arrives to mid lane to the inhibitor tower, if it's still up, your other waves are also lined up parallel to them or side by side to them. And again, what that does is you have a minion wave crashing here, and then you have a minion wave crashing up here. And what that does for you and your team is it forces the enemy to both focus on this tower, this middle tower, and this tower over here. And obviously there's only 5 enemies, and all of you guys, all of your teammates, all 5 of you, are focusing one tower. The enemies will have to respond by dividing their resources, because if they don't, they're going to lose the game. And so it's just a very effective method. You see it in high ELO gameplay all the time. It's just the most effective way of winning games, winning trades. You overwhelm the opponents with minion waves. Oh, no worries, Shariar. We're chilling. We're done with the Carmilla lab, anyways. There's nothing much else to explain. Her math is pretty simple and straightforward, and I already highlighted which heroes she benefits the most from. So, is this advanced server? No, no. You see all the skins I have here? No, that's not advanced server. But yeah, let me actually flip over to the ending screen here, because we're pretty much closer to the end here. All right. So, one last question. I play Sicilian and Lilia. So how can I choose between them according to my opponent? Like, if the opponent is going to have tanky heroes, do I have to pick Sicilian? No. No, not at all. I would say your best metric for choosing between those 2 mages is, does the enemy have fighters, chunky boys, like think Grok, think Atlas, think anybody that has to be in that melee zone for more time than normal. So if you're thinking, I'm thinking like heroes like Thamus that have to commit in a zone. Heroes that don't have escapes in general, like Barats or Dashes. You know, any types of heroes or fighters that don't have very good escape mechanisms, or they kind of have to burn it to engage. Those are your best places to take Lilia. Now, if you're talking about any other scenario in general, Sicilian's going to be your better option because he can just burst right from a safe distance. It's super helpful. Thanks, yo. You're welcome. You're welcome. Which EXP hero is safe and currently OP? Oh, actually, hold up. Let's flip back over here. Let me show you the tier list. If you go past on one of the past streams, you can download the picture, or if you're on Discord, you can download the picture from Discord too. Let me go back up here real quick. We'll go back to the live screen real quick. I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, we're trying to round off the stream right now. Let's see. EXP lane. Right now, we have Fredrin as the best in slot, and all of these guys here are definitely gonna, be OP for you. Good picks for solo queue, or not solo queue, five-man teams in general. Solo queue, you're looking more at like Pekito, Lapu, Benny, Esme, uh, people that can just do more things on their own than rely on the team. So if you're looking for those, this is what you're looking at right now. But yeah, add Alucard in XP. I have him on A tier because he was like in like C tier or something. So I haven't moved him up that much yet, guys. I can't just arbitrarily randomly move them up. Like, don't get me wrong, my Alucard bias is building up on my own as well, but it's not there yet. We're not at that point where I can just like, yeah, yes. Alucard, for those of you who don't know, is getting a lot of buffs. Caught my attention, and it just depends on how he performs in the next patch. But he's definitely going way up there. How many skins does Moonton have, and how many skins do I have? I have no idea how many skins Moonton have, but I do not have all of them. I have 524. I guarantee you there's more than 700. When are we getting feet stream? What? You gotta go to Kai for that. I don't do that stuff, bro. Not gonna lie. I already played him in EXP. What do you mean? He's been doing good for me, Inari. Okay, thanks, Raul. A lot. Thanks a lot. I'll watch the item guide playlist. Yeah, you don't have to watch the whole playlist. It's just a specific stream share where we went through itemization stuff. So that'd probably be the most beneficial for you. Very good information there, and all those are still current because we don't have any new items really that have changed, and the changes for Dom Ice don't move it from the spot that it's in. About Hilda though, yeah, Hilda is definitely. Watch Get Excited for Gaming, new channel. Wait, channel new Hilda gameplay, that's me. Let me pull you up, bro. Hey, yo. My man's almost at 500 subs. Sheesh. Here you go. Check out Yuzong out, bro. But yeah, basically the Hilda, what Yuzong is talking about, that Hilda buff is nasty. Think about what made Dairoth OP, right? The armor shred. Now add that and make it hybrid armor shred, and then put that on a tank. You know. Like, come on. Like, that's meta right there. Like, absolutely. Post a skins question on Discord, okay? Moonton has. Okay. Sure. Why not? I'll tag everyone. Everyone. Any of you nerds know how many total skins ML has? We'll see. Maybe Google knows. Excuse me. I don't think anybody knows. The last stuff that was up there on Google is from 2021. So we had a whole year. Yeah, armor shred for the whole team. Everyone can do negative pen. Exactly. That's why it's so OP. But back to the Alucard comments. Personally, I've tried him out. And at least in the matches that I've tried him, he's doing very good. Like, very, very good. I haven't taken him to ranked yet, so my opinion could change. But I'm having a blast with him because for once he can actually do burst damage, you know? And it's not just like copium burst damage, it's pretty damn good burst damage. The only time I lost, I think, on him is, like, obviously my people are trolling usually. It's solo queue classic and people are trolling in general. But even then, in that match, the mistake, the mistake was to go chonky-ish. It's just go full burst, commit. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Yuzong. I think they're gonna move Alucard like I said on that prediction tier list. I honestly think, excuse me, I honestly think that they're gonna move Alucard to being an XP laner, and they're gonna shift him off from being a jungler, or even viable in jungle. Let us know how Alucard works out for you. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Yin's the only thing bad news for him. Why? Yeah, yeah. Alucard's all of Alucard's super buffs aren't here yet, but I can definitely tell you that they're coming. And I think Moonton wants him to be showcased as well. Like, if you look at the stream where we were talking about the prediction stream, um, I literally put him in S tier because I think that's where Moonton's gonna put him there. I think eventually he's gonna get there because I literally got like crowd controlled hard with him, of course. But if you play him like an assassin, like a proper assassin, and you wait, and you play him like you play Guzhin, play him like you play Lancelot, you wait, come in at weird angles into team fights, and you go in and you burst, they die, and they can't do anything about it. You just run away, you know, scot-free. Atlas is also banned most of the time, so how about Hilda Roam solo queue? One of the best picks, if not the best pick for solo queue, Roam, right now. Just make sure that you actually invade when you can. Like don't die, of course, but yeah, for sure. Try to do that. Try to invade with her. Try to make sure the enemy is nerfed as much as you can with her, because she's very good at invading. That's her specialty. Okay. But yeah, obviously you can't do it against heroes like Valir or Lilia. It's more difficult to do that, but definitely do that. Recommend it to a friend who's new to ML, Hilda and Alice, for next patch to be played. Yeah, definitely good recommendations. I'm not sure if Alice is very beginner friendly, but I definitely agree on the Hilda recommendation. I also would recommend, if you're starting off in roamer. Again, I suck at roaming, and even for somebody that sucks at roaming like me, the heroes I excel with are those mage roamers. Like Valir is good for me, Angela is good for me, and I think for me Hilda's also obviously very good for me. But I think I'm just more of a mage support type player, so all the support roams I generally do okay with. I'm more worse when it comes to like actual tanky type supports. And I like Hilda because she's not like the typical like chonky tank support that does sets. She's kind of more like out there doing her own thing. Pick Alice, go AFK, the AI is OP for Alice. Yeah, except you'll get credit score points removed and you won't get any bonus. You actually won't like rank up if you go AFK doing that. I need to try Leslie soon. Yeah, you should. Okay, guys, we're gonna round it off right here. No stream tomorrow, but we'll pick it back up later on in the week, as you guys know already. And like I said before, I'm gonna, when possible, we're gonna try to stream earlier, like by an hour, or so. It's not always gonna happen, but I'm gonna try, and that way we can kind of just transition over to less streams, more content, more video content. But yeah, thank you for coming by as always. And if you guys, like I said before, the way we grow as a channel is so you guys share. So if you guys know people and find the content useful and stuff, just share around, and that's how we grow as a channel and grow as a community. But yeah, bye bye. I'll catch you guys not tomorrow, but the day after. Okay. Bye bye.